Hello and welcome to English 3360 for the fall 2023 semester. I hope everybody's excited to get started, and hopefully we are finally kind of post-COVID, but even though we're online, and hopefully things are back to normal for you guys. Things have changed in my life, but I am I think more back on a normal track. My name is Susan Garza. I teach in the English department. I've been at the school for quite a while now, and I've taught this course quite a bit. Actually, teaching writing is one of my very favorite things to do, and I really enjoy getting to teach and share anything I know or have learned about helping writers. I just want to give you a real short video here to kind of get you started and help you find things, especially if you're new to Blackboard or if you're new to the university. I want to encourage you to always ask questions and not feel like any question, is too silly or be embarrassed, because I definitely want to help you in whatever way that I can. I'm assuming you were able to get into Blackboard, and when you come to the course, hopefully this is what you're seeing, the welcome screen, and I've got this message here, and I say to help you get started, watch this video. I'll put the link there as soon as I get the video done, so hopefully you've gotten that far. Here's some general information about Blackboard. These links are really good resources. Don't hesitate to contact the IT folks about how to use Blackboard or any other technology concerns you may have. They're very good at helping. They help quickly, and they are very, oriented to helping the person who calls or texts or emails or however you contact them. I just want to show you a couple of things today. The syllabus is this link, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'll let you read that. But you can see here I've got this visual to get us started, and you can see it says joining the conversation. What is writing studies? A lot of people when they think about writing, they think about taking an English class. And a lot of your experience may have been where you took an English class and that's where writing was the focus. But really, writing is a learning tool for anything, any class, and, lots of things we do in real life and on the job. So I wanted to have you think about what we're going to do in this class, not as you're learning what we would do in an English class, but that we're talking about writing and who are we as writers, how do we write, how do we learn to write, how do we improve our writing, how should we engage with other writers. And as pre-service teachers, you guys are thinking about going into teaching, when you have an opportunity to work with, students, how are you going to use writing as a learning tool, and not just an English class, because I know all of you aren't planning to teach English, which is all of the subjects are just as good for learning about how to use writing. Now, the main thing we're going to use to kind of guide you through the class is I put together a learning journey outline. And this is some things that I've been recently learning. You're always, even once you get your degree, you'll always be taking some kind of continuing education. And so I recently put together a class using this learning journey outline. And so I wanted to use it here because I think it's helpful and useful. So I just want to walk you through a little bit of the beginning, and then I'll make other videos as we get into different parts of the course to go over other information and to dive deeper into some of the stuff. But we start here with the competencies, or the university calls them learning objectives. And you can see here I've listed some specific things that when you finish this course, you should be able to say, I can do these things, and understand what it means to do these things. And you see we've got written communication, critical thinking, and teaching writing are the main levels. And then how do you know if you've mastered that? What are behavior indicators? And here's another way that you can talk about your ability to do these things. I actively can do these things. I can collect information, blah, blah, blah. Developing and developed and high. These are the different levels. So when you think about, how will you be assessed in this course, and you want to think about the progress that you're making, high would mean that you've gotten very good at it, right? And then developing is you're still working on practicing. That is a skill. Developing is not bad. We'll do a lot of that. And writing is a process that has a lot of developing in it. So we'll talk a lot about that. Now, this is the main part you probably want to think about, the modules. We've got 4 modules and a final, and you can look here at how the module information is set up. See, module 2 we're not at yet. Right now we're on module 1, and it's pretty simple. Introduction, look at the syllabus, and at the end of the syllabus there's a schedule with due dates. Due dates will also be in Blackboard. I'll show you that here in a minute. But go ahead and read the syllabus, watch this video, review the learning journey outline, which is this document. Just kind of look through it. And I haven't completed, I've got through module 3, almost finished with it. So then I've got module 4 left. So I've got most of it up there, but I'll be updating that as we get going. And then in Blackboard, in the discussion forum is where I'll have you post most of your work. Most of the work is due on Sundays, unless I, indicate otherwise. And then also any questions you may have. And here's a picture of what the discussion board looks like. Images always help. And then how you be assessed, or another way to say to this, grading. We'll talk a little bit more about assessment and ways to think about that. But for this, it's what I think of as formative, meaning you are developing. It's you do it to be learning. And so the assessment here is if you do it and turn it in, then you will get full credit. So here's formative and summative, an image to give you some information about what that looks like, because we'll be doing a lot of that too. We'll be talking a lot about assessment. You can see here module 2 is focused on assessment. So this idea of formative and summative, those are two terms that we'll talk a lot about. Okay, so then we go back to, they've changed Blackboard a little bit. I'm still getting used to some of the differences, but welcome, syllabus, learning journey outline, those are the main things that you want to look at. That's where most of the information will be. And then when you go into the discussion forum, this is where you will be turning most of your work here. And you can see I've got the posting for that first introduction where you read the syllabus. So you would go in here and you would post that you've read the syllabus and any questions you have. So I try to keep, how I use Blackboard pretty simple, and there's lots of things you can do with it. But I try to keep it to where it doesn't get too complicated. You don't have to go to too many areas. But you can also see here if you're not familiar, the notifications. Students know a lot more about this, but I think this is one area that's really useful. But you can go here and see, what's due. Whenever I post things in the discussion forum, there will be a date as to when it's due, and then announcements and your grade stuff. You can always go in there and look and see what you've turned in, what you haven't turned in, what you've gotten points for, what you haven't gotten points for. Now, let me just say one more thing about when things are due. I mentioned at the end of the syllabus, I've got some, just roughly the due dates for you. One of the reasons I like setting these up into modules is in terms of when you turn things in, because you can see here what I did in the modules. You have lessons. We did in module 1 because that was just the intro, but you have lessons and sorry, my cat started attacking me, so I'm losing my thoughts a little. Isn't that how the animals always do? That you see here you have pretty much weekly due dates for some of these lessons. But what I want you to do is think in terms of module. If you're a little late on a lesson, I'm not a, real draconian about if you don't turn it in by the exact time. I want you to be responsible and get your work in. And you want to keep up with it because that's better for you. But depending on your schedule and your work life and your family life, if you get to the end of a module and you haven't completed all the lessons, I would say shoot for whatever the end date is for that module work to get everything turned in. We will do a few things like on the feedback module where timing of when you turn things in will be a little bit more important, because we'll be doing some feedback and writing workshop where you'll need to get your work turned in so that you can do what you need to do in the writing workshops. But for the most part, there's some flexibility there. I don't want you to get, all nervous or anything about, midnight on Sunday. And you don't have to email me every time something like that is going on. As long as you're keeping up and you don't get behind, I won't worry about it, because I don't go in and grade things like right after midnight anyway. So, but anyway, I'll stop there. I didn't want this to be too long, and I'm sure you'll have questions if you'll post those, as you look at the syllabus and everything, and then I'll respond to those and let you know, what else might be useful or helpful, and see what else I can help you with. So anyway, I think that's about all for right now. So here's to a good semester, and I hope that you'll find that, the learning journey that we have will give you some information that you didn't know before, and you'll be able to come away with some things that will be useful for you as you get ready to go out and, start your teaching career or continue your teaching career. All right, I will leave it for that, and we'll be talking to you again soon.